If you're a woman over 45 and you've noticed that midlife middle that happens in that transition from perimenopause to menopause, I get it. The instinct is to go buckle down on those old diets that used to work. But I probably don't have to tell you, with the hormones changing, what used to work no longer works. In today's video, I'm going to share 10 micro habits, ways to tweak your eating that'll make losing weight easier in your menopause era. Hi, I'm Jenny, and as a nutrition coach, I've studied what our midlife aging bodies need. But more importantly, I've experimented on my own body to see what works for me. I want to encourage you, don't just blindly follow my tips or any other nutrition expert tips. Find what works for you. You have come to an age where you get to be the expert of your own body. So let's get into these 10 habits and see which ones you want to experiment with first. Now, this first habit has been all the rage over social media, and that is eat protein with every meal. This is very important in our menopause era because protein helps us maintain our muscle mass, which ends up protecting our bones. It helps stabilize our blood sugar because we get more sensitive to blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance. And then we also get to stay full longer when you have more protein. So this simple habit is just adding more protein to each meal. Think your meats, your eggs, your cottage cheese is a big popular one right now, Greek yogurt, your plant-based proteins. So especially one meal to prioritize protein that's uber important is your breakfast. You want protein at breakfast. Ditch the muffins and the cereal and the pancakes and waffles. They're not setting you up for a good day. When you start your day with protein, your blood sugar stays more stable and you don't have those cravings and wild energy crashes. Of course, the food industry is always on top of these latest trends, and they love to produce protein bars with all the marketing. I want you to look carefully at those protein bars. Is protein really higher than the carbs and the fats, or is it just a glorified candy bar with a little bit of protein? Only use them in a pinch. Use real food more than you use these processed protein bars. Now, this next simple habit was one that I kind of struggled with, if I'm honest, and that is eat more fiber. Fiber is your friend during this whole menopause era. Fiber can help you normalize some of those hormone fluctuations. It can help you eliminate toxins. It can help you lower inflammation. It slows down digestion, so it keeps your blood sugar more stable. And what I love about this one is it's adding to your plate. A lot of times we've heard diets, it's taking things away, restricting yourself. Add more fruits and vegetables to your plate. Some seeds, beans, whole grains. Fiber is such a great tool for weight loss. It helps with digestion and it helps you stay full longer. How can you add a little more fiber to your plate? Now, this next habit is super easy. You can do it before you ever change anything that you eat, and that is eating food in the right order. I first learned this from the book Glucose Goddess. But I didn't just take her word for it. I did test my blood sugar and really paid attention, and I did start losing weight when I did this. And it's eating your fiber first. Think leafy greens, some kind of vegetable. Then you move into proteins and fats, and then you save your carbs for last. Carbs, yes, you want those complex carbs, but you can even eat those desserts, but have them last. Having that in the right order, that fiber hits your stomach first and slows down digestion, which slows down that blood sugar absorption and makes things go smoother. So just switching the order of how you eat can really make a difference. When we first started doing this, my husband did it too, and he found it beneficial too. We had like a little bit of celery before a meal or had a side salad. Think of how you can add vegetables to the beginning of your meal as the appetizer, and then it's going to slow down that absorption of the food and help you feel full longer as well. Now, I know I keep talking about blood sugar, but why blood sugar is so important. In menopause, we're more sensitive to it, and you can't lose weight when your blood sugar is high. Your body stores that blood sugar first in your muscles and your liver, but then it stores it as fat. And you'll never get to those reserves if you always have readily available glucose in your bloodstream. So you need to manage that blood sugar to have any chance of losing weight. Habit number 4, I use myself every day and I teach my clients. This is one of the basics. Every time you sit down for a meal or eat something, I want you to ask yourself this crucial question. How can I make this a little healthier? We get so used to filling our plates the same way we always have. And we've talked about it, those ways don't work anymore. So look at your plate. How can you make this a little healthier? Maybe you're going through the drive-thru. How can you make it a little healthier? Swap out those breaded nuggets for some grilled nuggets, or swap out the fries for a side salad. When you're at home, maybe take a few potato chips off your plate, or maybe put a vegetable on your plate. How can you make it a little healthier? When you ask yourself that and you honestly look at your plate, you know some little adjustments that don't feel restrictive but are a little bit of an improvement. When you get in the habit of doing this, how can I make this a little healthier? You're going to get into the habit of making those healthier choices easier. And number 5 is another question that you should be asking yourself. Create pauses within your meal. Put down your fork, stop, and ask yourself, am I still hungry? Sometimes we just get in the habit of finishing our meal. Yes, we're on the Clean Your Plate Club from growing up, but we need to break that habit by analyzing, am I really still hungry, or is that next bite just going to make me more full and more miserable? Get in the habit of checking in with your own hunger. I don't want you to starve yourself, but I do want you to stop when you're satisfied, not stuffed. So pay attention to your hunger cues. This is leaning into becoming the expert of your own body. Habit number 6 got a lot easier once my girls were grown and out of the house, and that is making healthy food convenient. When they were growing up, yes, they had their ready-made snacks in the pantry, so I tend to visit it a little too often. Now that I don't have kids in the house, I can take back control. I make sure I have cut up vegetables, fruits. In the freezer, I have frozen vegetables. I make that healthy food more convenient. This is kind of a concept I did when I was giving up Diet Coke, and I was a huge Diet Coke addict. But I first said I was not bringing any Diet Coke into the house. If I wanted a Diet Coke, I had to drive somewhere to get it, and this helped curb that habit. It took me a while to get over that habit, but just making it a little harder to indulge in those junk foods by leaving them at the store or having to go somewhere to get them makes the healthier options right here at your fingertips more likely that you'll follow through on eating them. The next habit is take a walk after a meal. This helps with your digestion and regulating those blood sugar levels. It doesn't have to be long, just 10 minutes can make a difference. Are you ready for the next easy peasy habit? This one is a no-brainer. It's switching to better oils. The vegetable oils, canola, had a great marketing team, but they're not doing your health any favors. So it's hard to get this switch in restaurants because they're still going to go for the cheaper alternative. But when you're at home, cook with avocado, coconut, or olive oil. Just making this simple switch to the right oils is good for your heart, and it's going to lower inflammation. This next habit is don't eat carbs alone. It kind of circles back to where we were eating food in the right order. You don't want to eat carbs all by themselves because what does that do? Spikes your blood sugar. Blood sugar spikes are not your friend when you're in menopause. They can trigger hot flashes, you hold on to stubborn weight, and your energy crashes later. We used to grab a piece of fruit as a great snack. We thought we were doing a great job. Add some almond butter to it, or add a slice of cheese or a little bit of meat. You want to make sure whenever you're eating carbs that you always have protein and fat with it. And that way your body will absorb it, it won't spike that blood sugar, and you're on your way to losing some of that stubborn weight. And then this habit is eat more one ingredient foods. Don't overhaul your diet, but just see how you can incorporate more real food into your diet. One ingredient foods don't have a nutrition label. They weren't packaged by some food company. Your body knows what to do with them. We've gotten into too big a processed food diet that's not doing our waistline or our health any favors. So we've got to get back to the basics. You don't have to go perfect. Just find ways to get back to those one ingredient foods, and your body will thank you. Remember, as a midlife woman, it's time for you to be the expert of your own body. Try incorporating 1 or 2 of these into your routine and let me know how it goes. If you're ready to figure out how to put this into practice, watch this video here where I show you my weekly meal prep for weight loss.